स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम् स्वधर्मज्ञानवैराग्य साध्यभक्त्येकगोचरः नारायणः परम् ब्रह्म गीताशास्त्रे समीरितः श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि
ईश्वरे कर्तृता बुद्धिः सत्वोपादे यतान्ति मे स्वकर्म परिणामश्च शास्त्र सारार्थ उच्यते.
In the last chapter, I taught the state of mind attributing the agency of one's actions to the Lord, the desirability of adopting the sattva guna, the culminating result of the performance of one's duties being God attainment, and the essence of the sastras, namely Bhakti Yoga.
Thank you so much. The first line, if it is seen, it can be a little smaller fonts. The English part of it is enough with the translation, just to connect the words. Just now, I was saying about the ritual today. Any ritual for that matter involves sattvika tyaga, that is, we attribute all our actions to the doership of the actions to the Lord, and therefore it says Ishvare kartrutva buddhi. Ishvare kartrutva buddhi. Meaning the thought, actually the state of mind, our state of mind, that we must confirm that Lord is the doer. Ishvare kartrutva buddhi. Again, just one small, Keshavdas Swami is very perfect. Therefore, I want to just show you. K-A-R, R also will have a dot under. Oh, sorry, no, okay. It's okay, right. You are right. Kartrutva buddhi. Now, so in the last chapter, that meaning 18th chapter. So, Ishvare Kartrutva buddhi. The state of mind attributing the agency of one's actions to the Lord. Agency doesn't mean here. This is doership. Agency, we are the agents. The agency, not agency remains in the Lord, but the very doership. So the desirability of adopting the sattva guna, sattva upadayata antime. The antime is a word meaning in the last chapter. Antime meaning in the last chapter. In the last, it means in the last, meaning chapter. Beautifully given in the brackets also. We always tell all people, when there is a word in bracket, the word in the bracket has no word in the original. Sanskrit, no Sanskrit word will be there in the original. So it is in order to make us understand the words in the brackets are also added. So sattva upadayata, not exactly the desirability, the adaptation itself is called upadeyata. Not the desirability of adaptation, the very adaptation. So very adaptation of the Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna, as all of us know, that it is the quality, we can say good or the best also. It's not better quality, but it's the best quality plus the what we call good quality, the good and the best, the positive and the superlative degree. And you have what we call this is something referring to the matter of the Nitya Vibhuti, and also the matter in us, in the individual soul, in less proportions. We have more rajas and tamas out of the three qualities. We are yet to be complete in sattva. When we are completely sattva in matter, then we will be realizing the God, and we will be a jnani. We will be a wise person to understand the Lord. And as soon as we understand the Lord, we get moksham. That means we become mukta, the released soul, and we have a place, a prominent place, a conspicuous place in the Vaikuntha. So sattva upadeyata is adopting. So adaptation in the last chapter. So we have 2 points here as the content of the last chapter here. So further, of course, further contents are there while we read the next chapter. So Ishvare Kartartva Buddhi number 1 and Sattva Upadeyata. That means these are the 2 contents of the last chapter. Now the third quarter, Swakarma Parinamascha, will be translated as culminating result of the performance of one's duties. One's duties, Swakarma, one's own duties, Swa, our own, O-W-N. Swakarma, activity or duty. Karma is called duty here, Kartavyam. So karma is action, Kartavyam is duty. So Swakarma is one's own duty. Parinamascha. Parinamaha is transformations. It's exactly transformation. So transformation in the sense, our karma yoga, the discipline of action, that is performing of the duty, gives rise to, it results in, rather the next step, Jnana Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga. So here Bhakti Yoga is mentioned as the Parinamaha, finally, the essence of the Shastra. Shastra Sarartha. It is not only Shastra Artha, because it is Shastra Sarartha. It is not only the meaning of the sciences, namely scriptures, but it is also the quintessence of the scriptures. The essence of the scriptures. Sarartha, quintessence. English, a beautiful translation. So that will be what we call Artha again, meaning purpose, not only the meaning. The purpose of the Shastra is to make us realize that we must follow Bhakti Yoga, the discipline of devotion, and the Swakarma Parinamascha will be what we call our performance of duty leads us to Jnana Yoga. We become wise, and then it is again transformed into Bhakti Yoga. And finally, of course, as we all understand, the fourth yoga, when we are not able to practice these three, first one, karma, jnana, and bhakti, will have prapatti yoga also. So that will also will be the result. So after prapatti yoga, again we are repeating the same result, namely a place in Vaikuntha, meaning service to the God, all time service to the God. And again, the service should make the God pleased. We must all please the God. Please the God. So, tasya prithya. So, priti is the end result of this Shastra Sarartha. Uchyate is being said. At least the meaning of the Om, and especially the Ashtakshara mantra has to be dealt with in the next session only. Now, of course, I have noted the points from the Srimad Ragasya Tresara of Sri Vedanta Deshika, and then I can take you through the text plus the ideas.
Swami, I have a doubt here.
Yeah.
I mean, you have discussed earlier, but you said in order to, if you cannot do karma, bhakti, or jnana yoga, then you will resort to prapatti. But in order to do prapatti, we have to do karma. We have to do a little bit of that which will lead to jnana and then bhakti. So we have to do those things. Even we have got this prapatti from the acharyas or baranyasa from the acharyas. We still have to do those things.
Now, the problem is, whenever we read the Shastras, whenever we say something, whenever we talk some word, there are some more meanings into these words. And when I say we are not able to perform karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga, it means we are doing it. We are not able to completely do. That is the meaning.
Okay.
You have to add the word completely.
Okay.
That is where Shastras and even we sometimes hide those words. The Shastras also hide those words.
Why?
Why it is for you to guess initially, and it is for you to read the commentary. If you just read the scriptures, and if you just read the what you call the sources, namely even Puranas, Itihasas like Ramayana and Mahabharata. Suppose you understand the story by reading all the 24,000 slokas of Ramayana, you understand the story. There's no doubt about it. But what is behind it? What are the principles behind the story? Definitely a child cannot understand. And even as a matured individual, we miss some points of the principles behind. And even comparing Ramayana, for example, comparing Ramayana, different Ramayana, Tamil Ramayana, Kamban by Kamban, Rama Kadai, it's Rama Kadai, and Tulasidas Ramacharita Manas. So again, Adhyatma Ramayanam, Ananda Ramayanam, Sankshepa Ramayanam, so all these are all consulted. Then only then we understand more. And again, as I said earlier, Govindaraja, Acharya Govindaraja's Vyakhyanam, when we understand, then that will be deeper understanding. Again, with regard to Srimad Bhagavatam, we have Sridharacharya's commentary, very famous, which has to be read. Then that means there is a need for the commentary, and there is a need to study the commentary also. And therefore, so that means when we say that we can't perform Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, that means we are not fully equipped. That's the meaning. Definitely, you have some part to play in Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. And our Keshwadami Swami's question is, if cowherders cannot read any book in the Krishnavatara, whether the moksha is assured for them. Yes, it is assured for them. For all the illiterate, for all those who do not involve themselves in the study of, because they are incapable of studying the book. Fortunately, as human beings. Now again, today, just one point today of when we call ourselves human beings, we are manushyaha, manavaha, you can say naraha, naraha, you can say easily understand. Naraha, we are all called naraha. the name human being, today, I mean, I have another understanding that it refers to the body only. When we say I am a human being, it refers to the body only, not the Atma, not the individual soul. And when you say, who are you? When you ask me, who are you? I am Tirunarayanan, when I say, that is wrong. I am Tirunarayanan, the name given to the, not to the individual soul. It is given to the body. And therefore, what I should say is, Aham Dasaha. I am enslaved. Now you ask again, whose slave are you? Are you then? I must say, Lord Sriman Narayana. This is how you introduce yourself to. So in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, all will say, including Balaji Tataja Swami, very, very often, Adiyen, Adiyen. I asked them to say in Sanskrit, Dasaha. And again we say Dasanudasa. Govindacharya Swami will go to another extent. He writes in the email, Dasanudasa. Bhritya Bhritya Paricharaka Bhritya Bhritya Bhrityasya Bhritya Itimam Smara Lokanatha. Sandra Madam knows more Mukundamala. Adiyar, Adiyar, Tammadiyar, Adiyar, Adiyar, Adiyongale. 7 times. 7 times. Again, you also see the word repeated 7 times. Meaning the Dasanudasa will be the right way of introducing ourselves. Of course, when I say, you cannot say that I am Dasanudasa, then everybody will say Dasanudasa. So there will be no distinction of one. Well, I will be asking you, what are you doing? Okay, so with this, do you agree with the organizer to say about the Omkara, the Ashtakshara mantra? That will again rather trigger off a controversy in the mind of ladies. Now the question with regard to your query also lingers in my mind. Why should there be a distinction between two types of human beings based on gender, and again based on varna, the caste distinction of the human being. Now, what I would like to say here before we go to the meaning of this Ashtakshara mantra, we have these are all man-made, as we understand, man-made. And again, Adhina Kartrutvam, again also, Adhina Kartrutvam, we are under the control of the Lord and we are doing it. And therefore, again, of course, this is the will of the Lord that we must interpret the Shastras in this way. And again, I remind everybody that it is the Lord who created all these wedges, the differences among the people, the different types of people He has produced. There are people on one extreme, namely non-believers of God, especially Nirishwara Sankhyas. They don't accept God. No, nothing called the spirit, nothing called the controller, or the omnipotent or something else. So we have no concept of God in their philosophy. They are called Nastikas generally, meaning Asti iti na angikurvanti. Lord is there, present. They don't accept it at all. Therefore, they are called Nastika. but we are all astikas, accepting that Lord is there. Now, among with regard to Nastikas, we have got what we call the name called given in the philosophy, Charuvakas. They talk very beautifully. They talk very attractively. We are enamored by the words of the Charuvakas. We tend to become Nastikas while we read the philosophy of Charuvakas. So, starting from there, we have got lot of divisions in our philosophy. Namely, we have Advaitins, Dvaitins, and then Vishishtadvaitins, and we have some more philosophy. In the north part of our country, India, we have what we call one Dayananda, interpreter of Vedas. There is one philosophy called Dayananda philosophy. It is not that Dayananda Saraswati who became the disciple of Chinmayananda and then went away, creating another what we call school of philosophy. There is Dayananda, founder of Arya Samaj. Okay, that is the very person. So Dayananda Swami has created another philosophy. In fact, we have got umpteen number of philosophies. J. Krishnamurti's philosophy, JK philosophy. He was in London and he created another philosophy. So here there are people who appreciate many philosophies, and therefore these are all creations of God. It is all the pleasure of God to sport with the people like us, giving lot of roads, paths to lead to Him. And it is also said, Nastikas also attain the mukti. They also become the released soul in the Vaikuntha. And then, so this is also there. So coming to this one, we consider Pancharatra. Pancharatra is the book that we must be familiar with in the future, if not earlier. Pancharatra is the system of what we call a temple procedure. So in the temple procedure called Pancharatra Agama, and we have two more. One is Vaikhanas Agama, started by a sage called Vikhanas. And then we have another third one will be called Shaiva Agama. Shiva's temples have certain procedures to be followed. So among these three agamas related to temples, Pancharatra Agama has got another text, a very famous text called Lakshmi Tantram. So these two texts are very important to Sri Vaishnava philosophy, Vishishtadvaita philosophy. And this Pancharatra gives you a lot of injunctions, lot of rules. There you get the meaning as well as the usage of the 8th syllable mantra. That is where we have what we call the sources. Then if at all we want to blame it on any idea, we have to blame the Lord state because it is said that it is Lord's very words, just like Bhagavad Gita of Lord Krishna in the context of Arjuna. Pancharatra is Narayana Swayam. Narayana Swayam. He himself, Lord Sriman Narayana himself said this Pancharatra. And again, when we start questioning the very concepts of any book, rather Bhagavad Gita or even Pancharatra, even scriptures for that matter. Suppose we start questioning the scriptures. Why? We can say how. We can the scriptures can explain how, but why? The word of the question, the answer to the why is absent. Because it is also said in the Patanjali's Mahabhashya, a twice born person, Dvijaha, a person initiated into Upanayanam, cannot question cannot give a question. Why he should study scripture? It is Nishkaranaha Brahmanasya Kartavyam, that is Vedaha, Nyeyaha, Vedaha, Adhyeyaha, Nyeyaha, Shadangai, Shadanga. With all the 6 limbs of the scripture, a person initiated into the study of scripture should study scripture. Not only should recite scripture, also should understand scripture. And there again, no questions, no questions. Unquestionable is the Lord. Now, with this small introduction, I'm just giving the continuity of yesterday's word. Of course, this is we're just going through a little fast then, because they are not very much important, but still there are many mantras spelled in scriptures. Among these mantras, more important mantras are Bhagavan mantras, those spells which give us a glimpse of the Lord, Shriman Narayana. Only Shriman Narayana, nothing else. And therefore, even the Bhagavan mantras, the mantras, we mean spells, powerful words. I mean mantra meaning powerful words. Mananat trayate. When we meditate on these mantras, we will have safety, even against corona. That is the safety. The safety is assured. So mananat trayate. Again, so Bhagavan, again among the Bhagavan mantras, again there are many, and there are 3 mantras advised in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, namely Ashtakshara, Charma Shloka, and Dvaya. The Charma Shloka is in the Bhagavad Gita of Lord Krishna. We have got 2 other Charma Shlokas also. One from Varahavatara, the incarnation as a great boar, and the incarnation of Rama, Sri Rama Avatara. But still, so these 3 are taken: Dvaya, Charma Shloka, and Ashtakshara. 8 syllables. The last ultimate, what you call the wise verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharma. Then we have 3rd Dvaya mantra. Now, again it is said, Mantranam Paramo Mantraha. This Ashtakshara mantra is considered the highest mantra, and Guhyanam Guhyamuttamam, the secret of the secret. Pavitram cha Pavitranam, it is also holiest of the holy. And then Mula Mantraha Sanatanaha. This is the Ashtakshara is called Mula Mantra. It is also permanent. Then I think I told you the nature of the mantra, the result of the mantra, the result of the recitation of the mantra, namely, it being the essence of all the scriptures, it is capable of removing all unwanted things, and it gives us the benefit of all the 4 purposes of human life: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. In Tamil, it's called Aram, Porul, Inbam, Veedu. As if you study Tirukkural in Tamil of Thiruvalluvar, 1330 small, what you call couplets. We will have not even a full couplet. It's called 1 by 1 and 3 by 4. Onne mukkal adi we say in Tamil. So we can understand all aspects of Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. And therefore we call Thiruvalluvar the author as a Sri Vaishnava, a staunch Sri Vaishnava. Now here, so it gives the mantra, Ashtachara mantra gives us the benefit of all the four purposes of human life and becomes the what you call the means to achieve, and it avoids all our destroys all sins, and it helps us to destroy all sins, and it contains all the letters to be recited according to the right of the human beings. There is a little difference. We will discuss it after a few minutes. Then it is in the form of what we call scriptural form. The Ashtachara mantra, Namo Narayana, with the Pranavam, the first syllable, is in the form of scripture. And the next type of this Ashtachara mantra is also in the form of what we call Tantrika Rupam. Tantrika Rupam we refer to, this word has been taken from the Pancharatra book. We will be giving you the details. Then, so why there is a difference, we will also say it later. So it is also Vaidika Rupam and also Tantrika Rupam. It has got two forms. The scriptural form and the Tantrika we refer to the procedural form, what you call the practical application form. And this becomes our what we call helper, or even for survival, this is very important. Even for our very survival, this is very important. It gives us the plays the role of a tonic in case of medicine. We say tonic. We call it elixir also. ELIXIR. It looks like amrutam. It is what we call rejuvenating material. The Ashtachara mantra is the rejuvenation given to us, and then this is what we call vocal, louder, vocal and louder saying with regard to the pervasiveness of the Lord and the Lord. And it doesn't need any other help from any other mantras. Doesn't need any help from other mantras. And it also gives us the various forms of the Lord, and it is all common to all the people. This is common to all the people, and all the preceptors in this Vaishnava Sampradaya prefer this mantra more than any other mantra. And we have some proof from Tamil quotations from the 4,000 Divya Prabandhas, and we have another support coming from the sages also. So it says, I'm just reading it very fast, but I can give you the number of the page of Srimad Raghasethara of this book published by Srimad Andavan Poundarikapuram Swami Ashramam Srirangam. This commentary in Tamil has been given by Uppaliyappan Sannidhi, Vangipuram Navanitam Srirama Desikacharya Swami.
Swami, I have got the Rahasyatraya Saram translated by Rajagopal Iyengar.
Okay, but this is in Tamil. This is in Tamil.
So I can give the reference in English.
Right, right. No, I wanted to just to give you the page number for reference. 619. 619. So we have, it says that many great sages also respected this mantra. Bhagavogi Mahatmano Muneya Sanakadaya Ashtaksharam Samashritya Te Jagmuhu Vaishnavam Padam. Because they respected this mantra, they all became released to soul. And then Yatha Sarveshu Deveshu Nasti Narayanat Para. There is no other deity, God, greater than Sriman Narayana. And there in the same way, Tatha Sarveshu Mantreshu Nasti Cha Ashtaksharat Para. There is no other mantra greater than the 8 syllable spell. Then Bhutva Urdhva Bahu, this is a quotation. Bhutva Urdhva Bahu Atra Adya Satyapurvam Bravimi Vaha. He Putra Shishyaha Shrunuta Na Mantraha Ashtaksharat Paraha. This is from Narasimha Purana. This is a quotation from Narasimha Purana. And Lord Narasimha tells all the devotees, tells all his disciples these words. He says, I am now talking the truth today. That doesn't mean he has been telling lies earlier. So this is with a hand lifted up. We also say Satyam Satyam Punas Satyam Udhritya Bhujam Uchyate. We have a verse from the last part of the Vishnu Sahasranama recitation, starting with the word Apadam Apahartaram. We say, what is truth? What is truth? Satyam 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 Punas Satyam Udhritya Bhujam Uchyate. So what is the truth? Vedas Shastram Param Nasti. There is no other science better than scriptures. Vedas Shastram Param Nasti. Nadaivam Keshavat Param. There is no other God better, higher than Lord Keshava. So here, so he says, Lord Narasimha says, Hey Putra Shishyaha. So Putra he refers to Prahlada. And then Shrunutan Na Mantraha Ashtaksharat Para. Please understand, listen to me, that there is no other mantra higher than, better than the Ashtakshara mantra. Now, he says again, Tadarchana Paraha Nityam Tat Bhaktas Tam Namastu. Because Lord Sriman Narayana is the highest deity, so be engaged in propitiating him, rather say the names repeatedly, offer flowers, and so many other things also. Then become a devotee and salute him. Sashtanga Namaskaram Kuru. Prostrate before him. Then what will be the result? Tad bhaktaha na vinashyanti. Those devotees will not be ruined, because they are Ashtakshara Parayanaha. They always meditate on this 8 syllable spell. Then how to do it? How to meditate? Asinava Shayanava Tishtanto Yatra Kutrava Namo Narayanayeti Mantraike Sharanavayam. All of us, meaning this is from Narada Kalpa. Narada's Kalpa, the book called Kalpa, Narada Kalpa, Naradiya Kalpanta. It is also given reference there, exact number of the chapter and exact number of the shloka. Whether you are seated or in the sleeping posture, or if you are standing, or you are standing anywhere, it is not a matter that you have to be here or there. So anywhere, you simply say Namo Narayanaya. Then we get all types of protection. So we completely resolve to only one mantra, namely Namo Narayanaya. Without the pranava. Without the pranava meaning, it is what we call a tantrika rupa ashtakshara. the procedural, practical application, practical procedure of uttering the Ashtakshara. Now, so there is a book called Itihasa Samuchayam. Itihasa Samuchayam. That's the name of a book, and that says there was a man called Pundarikaha who always did the japa of Ashtakshara and became the released soul. And this is Itihasa Samuchayam. Yes, it is 31 124. It is 31 124. It is not 35 120. Maybe it's different in the Rajagopalinga's book.
Yeah, in my edition, he's giving the verses 33 130.
Here it is 31 124.
It may be a different edition.
Yeah. So this has been advised. How? Because especially Lord Sriman Narayana advised particularly Tirumangayalvar this mantra. And he was, as you know, that the story behind it, very, very short, I will be very brief, brutally brief. So Tirumangayalvar built the highest wall in Srirangam. You will find that Tirumangai Mannan Madil Madhichuvat, meaning is because there was a doubt in the safety of the jewels of Sri Ranganatha. In fact, I think I'll also give you the source of the jewels. There was in Nagapattinam, a place called Nagapattinam, on the shore of the ocean, on the eastern side of the ocean, eastern shore of the ocean. We had a, it is said, we had a Buddha statue made up of gold. So that the statue was used to take away the gold from the statue, and the jewels were made up for Sri Ranganatha. That means again, it is Lord's will that one philosophy has to die, the other philosophy has to come up. Therefore, so Tirumangai Mannan built the wall, Great Wall, the Great Wall of China. You have heard about the Great Wall of Srirangam. So here, he was a king. He was a king. So he wanted to marry a beautiful girl. That beautiful girl gave conditions for marriage. Number one, he has to feed 1,000 Brahmins in a day. Give feast to 1,000 Brahmins a day. The entire Gajana, the treasury of the government, was exhausted. And therefore, Tirumangayalvar started robbing people. So when he robbed the people, the final stage was Lord Ranganatha and the Ranganayika came in the form of a rather, what you call, pedestrians in the forest, and they Tirumangai Mannan threatened them to part with the jewels, and the last jewel, namely the metti, we call it. I don't know, the metti of the finger in the toe, the toe of Mahalakshmi. It could not be taken out by themselves. It was a leela, it was a sport game. And then when Tirumangayalvar tried to bite it and remove it, then he was advised the Ashtakshara mantra by the Lord. And this is a small. So, meaning that Ashtakshara mantra is the most important. Now here, this is where we have some differences. Now, when we understand Namo Narayana is common to all people. Namo Narayana is common to all people. But leaving these two number one, the initial syllable and the last suffix of the dative case. I will just tell you because it's very easy. And that you know, first syllable is Om. The Om is avoided, is restricted to some people. And again, the last one, Narayanaya. Narayana will be declined as Narayanaya in the what we call Chaturthi Vibhakti, or what is called Nangam Vechumai in Tamil and dative case in English. So that is to be avoided by a certain number of people, certain types of people. So Varaha Purana gives you from the description of the greatness of Kaishika Dwadashi. Kaishika Dwadashi is the Dwadashi that occurs just a month before Vaikuntha Ekadashi. Yes, in Varaha Purana. Yes. In Varaha Purana, the number is not given here. It is given is page 509. Okay. So here, there it says, Namo Narayana iti uktva. Shvapakaha punaragamat. These are the words in the Varaha Purana on the greatness of Kaishika Dwadashi. I again repeat, Kaishika Dwadashi occurs a month before, exactly 30 days before Vaikuntha Dwadashi. Vaikuntha Ekadashi everybody is familiar with. So Shvapakaha, a dog eater, a dog flesh eater, meaning a low person, also can reach the Vaikuntha by saying Namo Narayana. This is where I draw your attention to unlettered people who did not have the opportunity to study books, and they have the privilege. They have the privilege to become a released soul. Again, there are two quotations from Tamil, rather three quotations from Mudal Tiruvandadi of Poigi Alvar. That I think I will take it later. If all of us can understand the Tamil words, that will be better. And then now we have a contention of the book, namely Pancharatra, that who has the right to say what. So here, Brahmana, now it's given very clearly in the Sanskrit verses. Now we are just introducing. The Brahmanas can study the Ashtakshara mantra with the syllable Om, and that will become 8-syllable mantra if you add the letter of the suffix of the dative case, namely Aya. So Narayanaya, so Om Namo Narayanaya will be the Ashtakshara mantra for the Brahmins. Now here the verses go like this.
Swami, just one question. I'm reading here. Rajagopalan says Brahmanas and the like, and he puts in brackets Kshatriyas. So does it mean Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, all those who have Upanayinam?
That is very clear after some time.
Okay.
Because Brahmana Adi, so I just said it is the starting point. Brahmana is given to recite Ashtakshara mantra, which includes Pranava and the Chaturthi Vibhakti suffix, dative case suffix. Now we coming to the verses. There are three types of karma, meaning there are three types of recitation of the Ashtakshara mantra. Number one is called Vaidikam, Number 2 is called Tantrikam. Number 3 is called a combination of both, Vaidika Tantrikam. So this Trividham Karma Samproktam Pancharatra Amrita Arnavi. It is said it is a nectarian ocean, where the Pancharatra, again the Pancharatra, I think all of us can understand the meaning. 5 nights, meaning within 5 nights, Lord Sriman Narayana advised, and therefore the duration taken by 5 nights. Again, the 5 nights refer to maybe Deva Varsha, not Manushya Varsha, and therefore in relation to the divine time, divine calculation of time. And then Vaidikam Brahmananam too. This is what it says. Ashtakshara mantra called Vaidikam, which includes the Pranava and the Narayanaya at the end, Aya at the end, will be recited by Brahmin. Now, of course, today's question is, who will be the good Brahmin? Who is fully called Brahmin? The definition of Brahmin is obsolete now, because many people are not following strictly the definition of Brahmanatvam. Brahmanatvam here, Tvam refers to Dharma, Brahmana Dharma. The behavior that is expected of a Brahmin. Now, Brahmananantu, Rajyam Vaidika Tantrika. The Kshatriyas, the people belonging to the royal family, will use both Vaidika and Tantrika. They can recite either with Pranava and Narayanaya or simply Namo Narayana without these two, the beginning and the end. So Namo Narayana. And there is no difference between those people who recite the Ashtakshara, namely Om Namo Narayanaya, and the other group, Namo Narayana, in attainment of the Mukti. All become released to souls. There is no doubt about it. So Tantrikam Vaishya Shudranam. There are two more divisions. The business community and the last service community. Today we are talking about service organizations. There are some rules with regard in the government for the service organization. Whether for example, as a teacher, are we belonging to service organization? We are called 24-hour servant. We are called 24-hour servant. When the principal of the college institution invites us even at the midnight, dead of the night, to do some duty, we have to accept it. So that is what we call service provider. We also do provide services. So here Tantrikam Vaishya Shudrana. So Tantrikam will be without the Pranava syllable and the Aya suffix. Then Sarvesham Tantrikam Tuva. Now this is also a rule that all the Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras can use Tantrika. All of us can use say Namo Narayana. There is no hard and fast rule with regard to this. This is common. It's common. Then Ashtakshara yo mantraha Dvadashakshara evacha Shadakshara yo mantraha Vishnoho Amita Tejasaha. Of course, these are all. So again, in these three mantras are called Vyapaka mantras. Important mantras among the Bhagavan mantras, among the mantras related to Sriman Narayana. Again, Ete mantraha pradhanaha tu Vaidikaha pranavairitaha. You call them Vaidika mantras when you add syllable, pranava. And pranavena vihinastu, when they are bereft of the syllable, tantrikaha eva kirtitaha. They are called tantrika. Then again, the very strict condition on the Vaishyas and Shudras will be Naswaraha. No tune, no accent will be used. Naswaraha. Pranavaha. No pranava. Om will not be uttered by these two people. Then Angani. There is no Anganyasa also. There is no Anganyasa.
So,
Na
Swami,
ati-
the Anganyasa, does that mean the Karanyasa and Anganyasa, or does that also mean the mantra nyasa? The first nyasa that we do, Rishi, you were speaking yesterday about Rishi, Chanda, Devata, Viniyogaha. Is that to be done by Vaishyas and Shudras and others?
Yeah, they cannot be done.
They should do no nyasas at all.
Yeah.
So
No,
not even
no Rishi Chandra Devata.
this is
Not
considered.
necessary.
Yeah, see, because there are two things. There's Sadanga Nyasa, and then there's this mantra Nyasa. So no Nyasas at all.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Shastra says, Pancharatra Shastra says, it is simply mantra matram japa. Now, so mantra matroktihi ishyate. The next line says, mantra matroktihi ishyate. Only mantra. Only the Namo Narayana. Namo Narayana. I think some people will say Namo Narayana. The long vowel is not there. Whenever we use the word in English also, we don't say Rama, we say Rama. That will also give us some doubt in the meaning. Rama means beautiful girl is called Rama. Rama means wife of Rama. Rama means sister of Rama. Shanta was there as a sister of Rama. So here Tatra. So when the pranava is not mentioned, Tatra Uttarayanasya Adihi Binduman Vishnuhu Antataha. It is not Antataha. It is because of Sandhi it is given as Antataha. Not because it is Antaha. It is not the word Antaha mentioned here. It is Amtataha. A-M, then Tataha. Is with A with Anuswara, the dot over the letter R, then Tataha. Bijam Ashtaksharasya Syat Tena Ashtaksharata Bhavet. Now the question, the doubt arises in the people belonging to Vaishya, Shudra categories. They say, why should we not say Pranava? Why should we not add Narayanaya with Narayana? Why don't we add Aya with Narayana? This is a question. So what the Srimad Ragasya Trayasara of Vedanta Jijika says is, the fruit is the same. It explains how the fruit is the same. Result is the same. Even if there is no pranava mentioned by these categories, the result is a good result, the same. Kim tatra bhagubhihi mantraihi, kim tatra bhagubhihi vrataihi, namo narayana mantraha, sarvartha sadhakaha. It is mentioned here with the aya also. The Chaturthi Vibhakti, the dative case suffix is also mentioned here, Narayana. But without pranava.
So Swami, just one second. When we go past this, just can I ask this thing about you explained about how becomes the bija of the Mula mantra.
Yeah.
And then it says by the addition of it says here in this edition, by the addition of it becomes the mantra consisting of 8 letters.
Right.
But
I'll explain to you just now.
But how do we? So should we add the ayah as well?
No, I'll just explain to you just now.
Okay.
You are so curious.
I'm very curious.
The Tamil explanation in this book and your English explanation by Rajagopala Iyengar should also give the same. Should explain how it is 8 syllables. Do you get it?
I'm reading along as you read the Tamil. I'm reading along the English, and it's exactly the same.
Okay. So even when there is no pranava, then how can it become 8-syllabled mantra? That is a question by everyone. That's a question by everyone.
At least my question,
And,
for sure.
The meaning of the pranava, please note, the Swami who gave this explanation of this page also mentioned that unless we listen to them carefully, listen to the meaning carefully, then we cannot understand. More than that, we may get confused also. So please be attentive in this concept. So without the pranava, why say we pranava every time? The very syllable of pranava is not to be mentioned as we like. It should not be given to those who do not seek the meaning. Just like Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, unless being asked, don't give, don't advise. Now, in fact, I would say voluntarily I took up the subject, and I think I am caught in this web. So here, so the meaning of the syllable, the meaning of the pranava syllable, rather what we call as a representative of the syllable, the Shastra says the first letter of the syllable, A. The A refers to the Lord, Sriman Narayana. Let us say the meaning, understand the meaning. The first letter A, meaning Lord Sriman Narayana. Nobody else. Agara mudala ezhuthallam Adi Bhagavan mudatte ulagu. So that is so all alphabets in any language start with A. That means he is the first one. So Lord Sriman Narayana is meant by A. Now the meaning now has to be extended, not just with the Lord Sriman Narayana. R denotes Lord Sriman Narayana. Now we have another extension of the meaning by adding the Chaturthi Vibhakti, the dative case, Pratyayaha, we call it suffix, added to the letter A. Then it will be Aya. A will become Aya. Meaning, everything belongs to him. Everything is for him. For the Lord Sriman Narayana. So A, the letter A in Pranava will give the meaning Aya. That means it is everything, every creation, everything else is for the Lord. Generally, we know that whatever we do is we do for ourselves. Therefore, there is no doubt about his own, what you call, aprakrita shariram is for himself. So, A means Lord, A means also Aya, for the Lord. The Chaturthi Vibhakti, the dative case suffix to be added with A. A is the Akaranta Pullinga Shabda. What you call the masculine gender word to be declined in all the 24 forms. So the Ekavachanam, the singular form of the dative case will be Aya. Aya Abhyam Abhyaha. Aya Abhyam Abhyaha. So Aya will be so for the Lord. So this is the first meaning. The next word, next letter is U. A plus U. And because of combination of these two letters A plus U, according to the Ashtadhyayi, the grammar book of Panini, the resulting syllable is O. O is the akshara. A plus U becomes what we call Guna Sandhi. It follows a formula called aphorism called Ad Guna, and therefore A plus U becomes O. Anywhere A plus U becomes O. Two vowels, these two vowels join together and becomes O. Then this U meaning, though it has one meaning called Mahalakshmi, that now please remember Keshavdas Swami was asking what about the goddess Mahalakshmi. So the letter A in the first, sorry I forgot to tell you the meaning. The number one A meaning Lord Sriman Narayana. Number two meaning it is Aya for the Lord Sriman Narayana. Again when we say Sriman Narayana, we always combine along with Mahalakshmi. There is no Sriman Narayana without Mahalakshmi. Therefore A means the divine couple. The letter A means divine couple. The Aya means for the divine couple. That will be the third type of interpretation. And the next letter U. Now we have to take proof from an example from the scriptures. What is the meaning of this letter U? U is Mahalakshmi as we understand generally. U is a bridge between the supreme soul and the individual soul. The individual soul being denoted by the letter Ma, Makara. In the three letters, Varnas in the Akshara, Om, the Pranava. Then again this U, because of the scriptural sentence, Tadu, Chandrama aha, Tadevagnihi. These are all some certain scriptural sentences where we understand the letter U. Tadu, Chandrama aha, meaning he is Lord Sriman Narayana, he is the moon. He is the moon. He is the very moon. So the Wu means, now how do we understand Wu? What does Wu mean? It means onely. How do you understand it means only? It is by the next sentence. Tadeva Agnihi. Tat eva Agnihi. It is he. Now Tatu refers to Brahman in Napumsakalinga, neutral gender. Don't think otherwise. Those who understand the word Tatu. Tatu meaning that. That is what we call Sriman Narayana, the Parabrahma. Parabrahma is in Napumsakalinga, neutral gender. And that is Eva Agni. He himself is the fire. Meaning, who means Eva. We come to understand from the scripture, who means Eva. Therefore, you combine this A plus U and understand it is for only the Lord. The question will be, if you say for the Lord, that means it also can presuppose that for somebody else also. So for the divine couple, only. For the divine couple, only. Aya eva. Aya eva. That will become A plus U. Then we have Ma. The Ma letter, just now I was telling initially before I think we started the Dhanyan, we have Adhina Kartrutvam. Ma refers to all of us, I think, may know that it is individual soul. Makara denotes individual soul. Jivatma it is we. It is we that we are denoted by the word letter ma. So the ma meaning was adhina kartrutvam. Again, we understand this ma includes what we call the word called naraha. Naraha. Why say this naraha? I will come back. Because it is from the Narayana, the Shabda Narayana, the name Narayana. So naraha meaning the both Chetana and Achetana are included under ma. Not only the individual soul, but also all creations or sarva srishtihi. That's the meaning of ma. The concept which is it is TERS, T-E-R-S-E. So you have to be very careful in understanding. So this this ma meaning the individual soul initially it includes the insentient object, and in turn we understand is a Sarvantaryami. The divine couple exists in all the creations as inner soul. And then the third meaning will be Aya Eva Ma, the individual soul, the insentient object, meaning all creation. Let me be very elaborate also. All creations are for the Lord, or for the divine couple, meaning all of us have to do service. There is no other way, no escape. Here, he is only Swatantra Karta. He is an independent doer, whereas we are all Aswatantra Karta, otherwise called Adhina Karta. He is Sarva Antaryami, whereas we are Sarva, we are Anu. We are in the form of atom. Then, now the next question occurs. If we do not say Pranava, if we do not say Pranava as Vaishyas and Shudras, what will happen to the meaning of Namaha and Narayanaya? Namaha and Narayanaya. Now again, now I come to this the previous word that you have started questioning. Tataha. Tataha. How does the letter A with the Anuswara, the dot over that letter, becomes the Bijaksharam, the seed syllable of this Ashtakshara mantra? This is where we understand you have to split Narayana. How to split Narayana? Naraha Ayanam. Naraha Ayanam Saha. Narayana. Naraha, the sentient and the insentient object, totally all creation. Let us take as all creation. Naraha. Naraha, Manusha, man. That is the human clan. Plus all others. Naraha. So Nara Ayanam means there are two meanings. Ayanam is path, the road, the means. Ayanam is the destination. Ayanam is life. I think I will give you some more meanings. So Ayanam is a leader, path leader, shower of the path. Ayanam. So you take the word Ayanam now. So what is the first letter? A. What is the last letter? Makara. So leave out these two. Becomes the abbreviation for Ayanam. Becomes the abbreviation for Ayanam. And that is used by three ladies in uttering the Ashtakshara mantra. Now, how does this meaning of the Ayanam is in the Pranava? Now that is the next question. So we'll just see now. Again, how we understand the syllable Pranava. Yes, it is ladies, Vaishnava, Vaishyas and Shudras. Yes. Right. And how we understand the meaning of Namaha and Narayanaya in the Pranava, and how they are in also and again this is what we are going to see. So Namaha meaning na mama is called Namaha. Nothing is mine. Na no, not N-O-T or no, N-O. Na mama meaning nothing is mine. Nothing belongs to me. So Mamakaraha is not there. The individual soul has no sense of possession. So makara in the syllable, pranava syllable, will have na mama, the attitude of na mama. And therefore there will be. So in salutation, we negate ourselves. We are absent. We are absent as an entity. And therefore here, so this namaha this has to be meditated upon to be understood. That's what it says. Dvitiyakshare prakritya anusandeyam. This is also of course Sanskrit word that now now we come to this one. So Namo Narayanaya will be consisting of 8 syllables. Is exactly equal to the pranava. There is no doubt about understanding the meaning of the pranava within this and I think we have.
So, but still,
we'll
my question is: previously, you said the ayah should not be chanted by Vaishyas, Sudras, or ladies. Ayah.
That is why I when you added these two, only ladies are supposed to say Namo Narayana. Only not the other one, not the Vaishyas and Sudras. They have to say Namo Narayana only.
I see. So we can say Brahmanis, lady Brahmins, ladies of the Brahmin caste should chant Namo Narayanaya.
Yeah.
All others, ladies or gents of Vaishya, Sudra, or Panchama, should chant only Namo Narayana.
All right.
Okay, got it.
Sorry, we'll take up this further discussion next session.
Thank you very much. Just before you go, I just have a couple of. I know it's late, but I just have a couple of very short things to ask. I saw something today that somebody was saying that the word Vanara, because we're talking about Naraha, and here you're saying Naraha means also man. It also means it means chit and achit.
Yeah.
Right. So it means sentient and insentient. But the word Vanara that we get in Ramayana, Hanuman and Sugriva and Vali, they were all Vanaras. And you said that Vanara means something, but I heard someone say that it means Vana Naraha, the men who live in the forest. Is it possible, or is it no?
No,
it's wrong. You were saying it was Va means something, and Nara means something.
Va means or. Rather, or.
So not quite men.
No. This is with reference to the boon that Ravana demanded from Brahma.
I
He
see.
said, I'm not susceptible to either human being or monkeys.
Or monkeys or
Monkeys,
Vanara. But
Vanara.
you're saying Vanara, if you translate Vanara, it means or humans.
Yeah.
So-
Either monkey or the human being. I'm not worried about them.
Okay.
Therefore, Rama, Lord Sriman Narayana took the incarnation as human being.
Right. Okay. Anyway, it's totally wrong to say that Vana Naraha becomes Vana.
No.
It's totally wrong. Yeah, I understand. Okay, so that was a quick question. The other question I have, you said that Nastikas can attain Vaikuntha.
Yeah.
How?
That is what we call there are two words to explain the quality of the Lord. Avyaja Kripa. Avyaja Kripa. He has mercy without any reason.
I see.
And also we have Avyaja Kripa, we have another word equivalent to Avyaja Kripa. He doesn't expect you to.
So Sahetaka Kripa, Nirhetaka Kripa.
Nirhetuka Kripa, right.
Nirhetaka Kripa. So it's
Right.
so you're saying that atheists can attain Vaikuntha if the Lord wants them to.
Yeah.
So without Nirhetaka means without any cause. But normally that doesn't happen.
Normally doesn't happen.
Okay, but it's possible.
Right. You got the right term. Nirhetuka Kripa or Avyaja Kripa.
Okay, all right.
Thanks
Then,
to you.
yeah, then the other, I had another.
Bound. From Balaji Tatachar, it means doesn't meaning bound. Rather, Lord Sriman Narayana is bound. Yes.
He's bound? In what way?
He says he has no other resort. Even Lord has no other resort except to protect us, except to give us the moksha.
Right. Okay, I understand. Okay. So then you were saying also in Mahabhashya that Patanjali says a Dvija cannot question why he should study Shastras.
Yeah.
Right? So these Brahmin, Kshatriyas, and Vaishya boys, when they go to the Gurukula, they cannot question. They have to go to the school and they have to study Vedas.
Yeah.
They cannot ask why. But is it possible to ask why for other things? When we read the Shastras, is it possible to ask why? Or should we have to just accept Shastras?
Yeah, the Shastras must be accepted as they are.
And when you say Shastras, you mean the Vedas or you mean all Shastras?
Only Veda.
Only Vedas.
Yeah.
Vedas the top most pramana. Okay, good.
And if Ramayana is the pramana of Veda, then you cannot question that.
Right. So I had one last point and one last question. I'll let you go. That the discussion of Omkara being made up of Akara, Ukara, and Makara, like that. So you're describing that Akara means not just the Lord, but Divya Dampatis means Sriman Narayana with Mahalakshmi, right? And then Ukara means Mahalakshmi, and Makara means we now know that Makara means the Chit and Achit, both, right? So in sometimes we hear in Sanskrit grammar or in Sanskrit prosody or whatever it is, that repetition is considered also a fault sometimes, isn't it? Repetition.
Dosha.
So if
Punarvritti dosha.
Yeah, punarti dosha. So if we say is equal to the Lord and Lakshmi, then U is equal to Lakshmi. We have the Lord plus Lakshmi, the Lord and Lakshmi plus Chit and Achit. So is it not repetitive to say that Lakshmi is you, is U? Is it not repetitive if she's already included in A? Therefore,
that
is
is
it not
where, in one
that
type
not a
of
fault?
interpretation, A is the Lord, U is Mahalakshmi, and Ma is the individual soul. And U, Mahalakshmi, becomes what we call Purushakaratva, the role of recommendation. She dons the role of recommendatory
Right.
authority.
Right, but both the Kalais, both the Sampradayas believe that she is a Purushakara. Both accept that she is a Purushakara. But here it seems that we have Lord and Mahalakshmi on one side, Mahalakshmi in the middle, and sentient Chit and Achit on the other side. To be mediated in between, Lakshmi is in between, but she's also on that side.
Yes.
So my question is, if she's a mediator,
I understand your question. When A means divine couple, why should there be a repetition Mahalakshmi by U? No.
Exactly.
U means Eva. U means only.
But
in case you interpret A means the divine couple.
Okay. If you interpret A to mean the divine couple, then U means Eva only.
Yeah.
If you interpret A to mean only the Lord, then U means Mahalakshmi.
Right.
So it's two different interpretations. Both are correct.
Yeah.
Understand. So my problem was simply that if we consider Mahalakshmi to be a Purushakara, a mediator, that in my understanding, a mediator cannot be on the side of one side or the other. Mediator means that there are two sides to an argument or a discussion or a proposition, and that the judge has to be impartial, has to be in the middle. The mediator, in order to mediate between two parties, has to be in the middle. The mediator cannot be on that side or this side.
Neutrality of the Lord, Mahalakshmi.
Yeah.
But we consider her the wife of the Lord, and therefore the point here is she doesn't want the Lord to punish the individual soul based on his sins. Karmanugunam. As per the actions of the individual soul, the Lord treats him either good or bad. They gives the benefit or takes away the benefit. Suppose the individual soul commits sin, and there's no suppose. The individual soul is always what we call
He's bound to commit sins.
Have the inclination. He's inclined to commit sins, and then so when the sins are committed, they are not made to be a source of serious punishment from the Lord, and therefore Mahalakshmi helps here. And since Mahalakshmi is the life partner, never dissociated from him, and therefore you cannot say she has to be. She cannot be on both sides. But she is in the middle. So in a family, you take for example, the children are favored either by father or by the mother. And when there is a trouble with the father, then the mother negotiates. And that is how we must take it.
Right, but in the case of
mother is the mediator between the children and the father.
But what I'm saying,
you cannot say mother is somebody divorced from the. It also happens today, unfortunately. I know some families where the couple is separated, and I know one of my close relations. The child is sent in the weekend to the father, and the mother keeps the children for 5 days a week. The weekdays she has the children. The children go to the father.
Right, right.
So this is very unfortunate,
The-
and that is where when you feel that they are separate. Inseparability is the quality of Mahalakshmi and the Lord.
right. Okay. So as far as the inseparable,
Anapayini.
the first point is about the analogy of the family. The mother is definitely between the children and the father in the discussion. But the mother, you say that the mother is not on one side because she's the wife of the father, but she is also the mother of the children. So she has a relationship with both. Lakshmi has a relationship with both Sriman Narayana and Chit and Achit.
Right.
She has a relationship with both. So that way she can be in the middle. She can be a mediator. At the same time, so that's the first question. The second point is that if we perceive the supreme absolute truth as Divya Dampati, then Sriman Lakshmi is always with Sriman Narayana. She's always with Narayana. Sriman Narayana, one entity, right? Then it means that is Sriman Narayana, Lakshmi and Narayana, but U also must be Sriman Narayana, must be also Narayana and Lakshmi, because Lakshmi and Narayana are inseparable, and if she is you, she must also be Narayana.
That's also a good interpretation. I accept your.
This is not mine. This is Govindachari just wrote this in the chat, and I was just enunciating it, but he's correct. So no praise to me for this. This is the realization of Govindacharya Swami.
The credit goes to Govindacharya Swami.
The credit goes only to others. So thank you very much, Swami.
I never expected this wonder from you.
So Swami, I'm very happy. Every time we start, you start with the Andal Gosti, and you finish with the Andal Gosti. So every class.
It's a proverb in Sanskrit.
Yes, wherever ladies are praised, everything is good, no?
Godly.
So you do it on Kartika month. You do the ancestors.
Kataka Ravi Sankaramana Punya Kalam. We have the Tarpanam performed.
Not 96 times. Not 96 times.
Not Shandavati. Shandavati is not. Some people very rarely do that. Even my student from USA, he has come back to Srirangam. He said for the past 3 years he has been observing this 96 Tarpanams. And in order to understand how there are 96, we have to go through a magazine called Vaidika Shri. The author recently passed away, unfortunately, in the young age. He was a very knowledgeable man. He was in Chennai, and every Sunday he allows people to ask him many questions on our orthodox habit. And, I also happened to do it once. And we have many people started questioning because today is Ekadashi here, fasting day, not only fasting day, of course, remembering the Lord frequently, more frequently than any other day, by fasting or through fasting. And then we have what we call very special day, festival day called Adi Pandigai. In the sense, we prepare special dishes to the Lord, and in order that we consume. So we have special dish called coconut milk. The coconut milk is to be offered to God today, and especially for those newly married couple, the in-laws will, rather the father-in-law of the bridegroom will offer a gift of um, silver articles, silver articles. This is special. And they are invited, newly married couple within 1 year are invited to the in-laws house. And then they are offered the silver articles, if not gold. So that is the speciality of again, while performing, the Tarpanam, Aradhanam, etc., we have the Sattvika Tyaga included. And here, the Sattvika Tyaga says that the individual soul has the kartrutvam, the doership, but sarva kartrutvam is all comprehensive doership goes to the Lord, but we have also some jnatritva kartrutva. We understand and do. And the important aspect of our kartrutvam is adhina kartrutva. We are under him as a slave, and we do the what we call sheshatva kartrutva. We do it under the control of the Lord. This kartrutva, the doership under the control of the Lord, and therefore it's called adhina kartrutva. In fact, it can be given in a negative way also. Aswatantra kartrutva. We have no freedom in doing this action. Whereas he is Swatantra karta. Lord has Swatantra kartrutva. So that is the meaning of this Anena Atmana Kartra in Sattvika Tyaga while performing any act. So not only today or any day, any action. So let us go to the Tanvini.
So just before we go, I looked up I think you're going to talk about Rahasya Trayasaram today also. So I looked up that portion about chanting of Astakshara and Chaturthi Vibhakti by other castes. But also I have the Anakam here, and I was looking for the section about Om Tat Sat and Om Tat in the, but I don't know what section it's in. Maybe you remember which section in the Anakam it was?
I'll be telling you at the end of the session when time permits, or the why and how of this Astakshara.
Okay.
And use it.
The other thing is, since you were mentioning that you were doing some rituals and things like that, there are some other persons in different groups that I have who might be interested if you could live stream some of the rituals that you're doing sometime on Zoom. Especially the I'm not sure, Upakarma is coming up. Yeah. Avitam. Yeah. So if that's coming up, so somebody asked me to ask you if it's if you have a Brihaspati coming for doing Upakarma, or you just do it yourself.
For those who can do by themselves, they will do. Otherwise, normally it is advisable that you invite a Brihaspati. Otherwise, because the Brihaspati is so engrossed and so busy with so many devotees, we have his customers. So he has his subscribers, customers. So we do it at home or in the banks of Kolledam,
Kolledam.
Vadadar Kaveri. Today we have plenty of water in Kaveri itself, and if there is no water in the river, we have to do it at home. Today, fortunately, we have. But again, Vadadar Kaveri, the Kolledam, the Kolrum, the river, the rivulet is just a little far away. We have to walk a long way to the other side of the river. The other one half is empty.
So Kolledam is empty right now?
The one half is empty. Because of a problem in the dam called Mukambu.
Mukambu, okay.
One part of the dam has been closed,
I see.
and therefore the water flows on the other side of the river. We just draw a line. Therefore, we have to walk in this.
So the northern half of the Kolledam has got water, and the southern half has not got water.
The southern half is empty.
I see. And what was that? What was the other name you gave to Kolledam? You gave it another name?
Vadadar Kaveri.
Oh, I see.
Vadadar Kaveri. Vada is
North.
Northern. Thiru is always an what do you call honorific title.
So Vadatiru Kaveri.
Kaveri. We never say Kolledam.
Nice.
Tributary.
Nice. Okay.
Unfortunately, the water of the Kolroon, as they call it in English, by British people, Kolroon, Coleron. Then it reaches the sea, it reaches the ocean. Whereas the Kaveri river is not called Nadi as we normally do. It is Nadaha. There are two words for rivers in Sanskrit. One is Nadaha and Nadi. Nadaha is masculine gender word, Nadi is a feminine gender word. All rivers go to the ocean when they are called Nadi. And when we call them Nadaha, they stay in the land itself.
I see. So the Kaveri, all the water of the Kaveri is actually used for cultivation.
Yeah.
And
irrigation and it stops with the land itself.
I see. And so the Kolleru, the northern branch of the Kaveri, that goes to that actually ends up in the sea.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when the flood comes, there is no dam to contain the water in the Kolledam, and therefore it reaches the ocean as soon as there are floods.
I see.
Okay. It's all political connivance that.
Between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, I know. So where are the two rivers separated?
This is exactly in Mukambu. Mukambu, a picnic spot, otherwise called Elamanur. Ilamanur. Elamanur.
And
that's called Mukambu, a picnic spot where the river gets in, is bifurcated.
So that's west of Sri Rangam.
Yeah. So the Sri Rangam becomes the island.
Right. Yes, I've been west. I've been up to the west. You can go, if you go about, I think 40 kilometers. I'm not sure.
The road to Karur before Kulitalai.
Okay.
Halfway to Kulitalai.
Okay. So that's where it gets bifurcated, and then it stays bifurcated all the way to the sea.
Yeah.
It doesn't join again after Sri Rangam?
No, it joins. After Sri Rangam, it joins in Kallanai. called Kallanai has, I think, the dam built by Raja? Karigalan. Karigalan was the name of the Chola king who constructed a dam across the river,
Right.
both rivers, the tributary and the Kaveri, and there it joins back.
And that is a special name also, I believe, I remember. I don't remember.
Of course, they don't join later also. They don't join later also. One goes the other way. Kollam goes the other way, and Kaveri goes. Of course, they are parallelly going.
They're going east parallel. They're going east
Yeah.
parallel to the sea. Okay.
And Kaveri doesn't reach the sea.
Okay. But in ancient times, Kaveri reached the sea. Used to reach the sea.
That's why we call them. We call it Vadadari Kaveri. That goes to the sea.
Okay, but
rivers like-
normally we think of the Mahanadis as very holy because they reach the sea. They're holy or not?
That is not the
Criteria.
that doesn't connect with the holiness of the river. Any river is holy.
But the goddesses. I mean, we always think of the personality of the river as being female.
As a female goddess.
But so are you saying that the personality of one river is called a nadi, and that is feminine word, so that is natural for a goddess to have a feminine word as a name. But is it possible that a nada also has a feminine deity attached to it?
Yeah, Nadaha also is a feminine deity, though the word is in the masculine.
I see. So the word is masculine gender in Sanskrit, but the deity representing the river is always feminine.
One example is there are two. I mean, one example for the word wife, meaning wife.
Yeah, there are three types: masculine, feminine, neuter for the word wife. Right.
Right.
Famous example. Yeah. So. Thank you. So please consider, if you're doing any rituals at home, now that we're on lockup, if you would like to have a Zoom session for that, then I could record that and I can show that to others so they can see how rituals are performed.
But we should see whether the time suits you to.
No. The time will suit me. If you're doing rituals in the morning time.
Yeah.
Your morning time is my afternoon. It's no problem for me. The time suits me. It may not suit. That's why I said it could be recorded, because some people in Europe and Africa and different places, they have a different time. But for me, it's fine.
So of course there are two functions in Avani Avittam, as you said, Shravana Purnima. Day, we have first one Kamo Karshit Manura Karshit Japa.
Yes.
That takes about 1 to 1:15 hours, 1.15 hours, and after that we have what we call
Gayatri
Tarpanam.
Oh, Tarpanam, yes. Navakanda Rishi Tarpanam.
Yeah, Kanda Rishi Tarpanam. And before that, we are supposed to start the Veda Adhyanam that day. And if Brahmachari has been initiated by Upanayanam in that particular year, it's called the Talayavanya Vittam. He has to use it, do what we call Homa, Agni Homa, by using 1008 sticks by saying the Gayatri Mantra.
Oh.
Gayatri Homa.
He has to but the Gayatri Homa is done on Shravana Purnima or done on the Gayatri Japa day?
On Shravana Purnima.
Not the next day?
On the next day.
The next day, yeah. So
all others do Gayatri Japa for 1008 times.
right. Right. I've been discussing this with some people because it's coming up and people wanted to know how to do it in a more elaborate way.
And again, on the Avaniyamittam day, Shravana Purnima day, the Homa is conducted by qualified people, and all the people, householders and bachelors have to say some mantras when the Yajamana wants them to say. When the performer of the sacrifice will ask them to recite some mantra, and that is also similar to what we call the Samidha Dhanam mantras of a brahmachari.
Right. Okay. So you think about if you want to arrange to record.
Generally, we perform the Kamokarshi Jamam before say 9 o'clock, and by 12 Madhyanikam. Soon after Madhyanikam, after the second time bathing, we will perform the Kandarishi Tattva. So that will be just before 1 o'clock. The women of the house, even if a lady is very, very slow in doing the cooking, she will do it very, very swiftly before 1 o'clock afternoon on Avaniyamittam day.
Because everybody's fasting up until the end of the ritual. Is that the point?
Yeah, yeah.
So no tiffin before the ritual.
Yeah, no food before the ritual.
Only coffee.
And in order to encourage the children who are initiated to Upanayanam, they are given some snacks like idli, then also appam, apupaha.
So
and
children,
because they are taking bath again.
I see. In order to get the children to bathe again, they have to be given some snacks.
So in order to encourage them to follow these rituals, they are offered idli, tiffin idli, and apupaha, the sweet appam. And actually, after hearing elders' advice, I avoided eating. I thought everybody should necessarily eat.
I see. So from your young age, when you were a boy, they used to give you snacks. So naturally, you continued to take the snacks. But then after some time, you realized you should be fasting before.
Yeah.
I think Sri Vaishnavas are a little bit lenient on fasting.
Yeah.
Normally.
Yeah. Today, Ekadashi also.
Compared to others.
To take the rice. Full rice product. We'll have broken rice.
Yeah, so you crush up the rice.
Yeah.
Crush it.
Yeah, crush.
Okay, good.
Ekantatyanta dasyaika ratistat padam apniyat tat pradhanam idam shastram iti gitartha sangraha.
Kavitarkika simhaya kalyana gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.